Hello and welcome to Relationship and Marriage, aka Rema. My name is Enefiok Udonkan, and today we are going to talk about the heart of marriage. What is it that keeps marriage pumping? Bang, 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 the thing where our heart beats. What is that thing? Now, in Matthew chapter 19, the Pharisees wanted to test Jesus. So they asked him a question. They said, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for any reason? And Jesus asked them, what did Moses command you? He said, Moses said, if you want to take um, put your wife away, give her a letter of divorce. Let's put it that way. And Jesus said, yes, Moses permitted you this precept because of the hardness of your hearts. But from the very beginning, it is not so. And then he now took them back to Genesis. All right? He told them, therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife. And two of them are no longer two, but now one. One new family unit. I'm paraphrasing. One new family unit. Now here's the sucker punch. He told them, therefore what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. All right? Now this implies two things. Number one is that it is not the pastor, it is not the imam, it's not the rabbi, it's not the elders that joined two of you together. It was God that joined you, two of you together. All right? Number two, if God is the one that joined you people together, then why do we go to man to separate us? Because divorce is a precept of man, but marriage is an institution of God itself. So God does the joining, and then when you want to scatter it, you don't go back to God, though, you go to man. All right? Now, that implies that whoever, let no man put asunder, that means that whoever puts asunder a marriage is accountable to God. Very, very, very accountable to God. Now, what has this got to do with the heart of marriage? All right? What keeps marriage going is your faithfulness to the vows that you made on the altar. It is not love that keeps marriage. I mean, love comes, love goes. Anyone who has been in marriage for a very, very long time knows that you have to re-stroke the embers of love always and always, because sometimes it goes. All right? But faithfulness remains the same. God echoes it in his relationship with us, that he is always faithful. No matter how much we may go astray, that he is always faithful to us. And that is to show in the element of love, that he's always, always faithful to us. So in a marriage, if faithfulness is on ground, no matter the circumstances that may happen, no matter the problems that may come, and believe me, problems will come. They always do show up. Problems will always come, but as long as faithfulness is on ground, you can weather it. So you're going to ask, so what can break faithfulness? Only one thing: adultery. That is the knife that can pierce the heart of faithfulness. And that's why God is so much against adultery. When once the heart of marriage is pierced, the marriage has begun to crumble. The marriage is in comatose. In Malachi chapter 2, some people were asking God, why don't you answer our prayers any longer? Why do you turn a deaf ear towards us? And he told them the reason why. He said, yes, I was there when you took your vows to your wife, and you have been unfaithful to those vows. And that is why he has turned a deaf ear to you. All right? Because he's a God of faithfulness. Faithfulness is the heartbeat of God. Faithfulness is the principle of God. And he brought that faithfulness into marriage to teach us faithfulness too. Truth is, if you're not faithful to your spouse, then it's going to be difficult for you to be faithful to God. Very, very difficult for you to be faithful to God. In fact, how can you be faithful to God if you're unfaithful to your spouse? It's not possible. It's not possible at all. In the issue of faithfulness, God told Hosea, marry Gomer. Now that was a living parable to show the faithfulness of God. A living parable. Hosea could have married a good woman, but he told her, go and marry an adulterous woman. God knew who Gomer was. Hosea knew who Gomer was. Yet he told her to go and marry her. And no matter how many times Gomer ran away from Hosea and went back to her adulterous sin, Hosea forgave her and took her back. That is faithfulness. Gomer was unfaithful, but Hosea was faithful. That demonstrated the faithfulness of God towards us as humans. And even today, while we're turning our back to Him, while we are coming to Him one day and going back and to the world of sin another day, God still remains faithful. And that is the heart of marriage. So if the two people in a marriage can decide to be faithful to each other, there is no storm they cannot weather together. Now, I have good news for you out there. You may ask, is it possible to be faithful in this era of side chicks and sugar mummies and side bobo and the rest of the thing? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible, but it's not by our strength, not by our strength of character, but it's by the faithfulness of God and the grace of God. If you ask 10 men, what are your prayer points? That is, 10 men, what are the first 10 prayer points that you have in your list? I bet you none of them will include the grace to be faithful to my partner. But that is what we need to sustain our marriages, to get down on our knees and ask God for His grace to sustain our marriages, for His grace to remain faithful, because temptation can come, will come. If you have remained faithful for so long, congratulations. But he who thinks he stands should take heed lest he falls, because it will come. And you just need grace to take it through. So thank you very much for watching this to the very end. I hope you've learned something. Until next time, thank you.